Essay question, the essay. Essay begins. George had always been both hardworking and careful. He was a promising and conscientious student in his second year at university, where he was studying English. Ironically, it was his care and attention to detail which brought him to the brink of academic disaster. Sometimes you can be too careful. There were exams at the end of the second year, naturally, as well as one dissertation, that is, an extended essay to be submitted instead of one exam paper. It was to be a 10,000-word essay. George's disaster took place 20 years ago, in the days before word processors and personal computers. The leading edge of technology was a typewriter. George had been working away steadily at the essay, of course, over a number of weeks. After he had done the necessary reading, he started the first draft, which was handwritten. By the end of the university term, he was ready to do the final version when he returned to his family home for the short vacation. He knew that he could use his old and trusty typewriter. Able only to use 2 fingers and a thumb in his typing, 10,000 words was going to take a couple of days to complete. In due course, the task was completed, but as an insurance measure, George decided to photocopy the script, which had changed quite a bit from the first version. Putting the manuscript in a loose-leaf folder, George went out to get his car out of the garage before driving to the office of a friend who would be able to do the photocopying quickly and free of charge. As he drove through town, George could see other drivers flashing their headlights. Pedestrians, too, seemed to be waving at him. Alarmed, George stopped and got out of the car. The first thing he saw, on the car roof, was the loose-leaf folder. In panic, George grabbed it. Of his 24-page manuscript, only 5 pages remained. The rest were scattered haphazardly along the 1.5 miles that he had driven. The irony, of course, is that if George had not been careful enough to get a copy of his essay, he wouldn't have lost it in the first place. However, George can now look back and laugh. He admits that the essay improved in the third draft. He got an A for the essay, but he gave himself an F for care and attention.